Alright, Anya, so before you try any of this stuff, you really have to have 1 through 7 memorized, and those note names like we talked about. And the key step with the note names was to do them out of order, not just go G, C, A, D, B, E, but like just be like, alright, where's G, where's E, where's B, and so you actually learn them. Each one like we said, like just like it's like a geography test, like it's got nothing to do with bass playing. That's G. End of story. And then you need to know all 7 fingerings and where you pointed to. So like in number 1, you're going, sorry, this is the whole thing. And then you just think about pointing there. And if you want, and then start there, and you will be playing in each one of them. Now number 2 is this. There's the root 1. And then, boom, there's where C is. So yeah, number 1, number 2, but I just played starting on C, the whole thing's number 1, and number 2. Cool. And if I did that at some other fret, if I just was here and went number 1, I'd be in this key, which is F sharp. And if I played number 2 out in front of it, it'd still be in it. They fit together the same way in every key. So, like I'm saying, you really need to have number 1 through 7 down, including, this is number 3, here's C. And right after I play it, I point to C. So, like I said on the page, don't turn scales into songs. Like, think about this like a geography class. Then when you memorize them, start playing up and down them in rhythm and stuff, so you just kind of pause as much as you need to, learn it, and however long and then here's where the root is, and then worry about playing in rhythm and stuff like that, so just like learn the dance steps, then dance. This is true with songs too. Cool. So yeah, we're just like 1, 2, 3 is right here. So if I played number 3 at this fret, I'd be playing the A major scale. That's A. So like C and G, D, A. And so sure enough, if I start on that note, that's what comes out. Just like when I played it in C, is what came out when I started at C. At like first 2 notes, then this. Cool. And back here it was 3 notes, or rather here's 4 notes, then C. It was 3 notes, then C. It was a couple notes, C. So number 4, C is just the second note we hit. B, C. Anyway, B and E, breaking integer, and C and F. So yeah, those note names by the time you're watching this. So then there's number 4, which is an easy one. It's 2 of this, it's all no reaches. And here's where the root is. It's just the second note you hit, B, C. So almost always you're gonna start on that because you'll be playing. So I played that here. I was in C. If I go to a random fret and just play number 4, it's going to turn out I'm in that key, in this case G. Sure enough, if I just start on that note, I am playing the G major scale. If I do it here, it's still going to sound like that, and that's the A major scale. And, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. In 5, we just started on the root, And so this one's easy because we're really used to thinking about index finger on first finger on these 2 strings. It just goes, okay, I played this here in C. I was in C. If I want to do it in A, I just start on A and do the same thing. All the other ones are the exact same concept. It's just not always indexed on the bass string. In number 1, it's here's the thing I'm thinking about to get where I am figured out, and then from there playing, not always this or this. Anyway, so there's that. Then we get to 6, which is a weird one that you won't really use that often. And here's where C is. It's like, A, it's 2 frets back from where we're starting. 10th fret. You want to know where the 10th fret is. Like we were in the lesson, we were going like 2nd fret, 10th fret, 2nd fret, 10th fret. Just kind of, it seems like you subconsciously confuse the 9th and 10th fret. 9th fret has a dot, 10th fret doesn't. Anyway, cool. So you learn that one. And then lastly, number 7, there's where C is. And this is like the fretboard starting over here. It's the same thing as that. Anyway, so just thinking about the hand movement. There's just 2 notes on that string, and here's where C is. Run out of notes. So if I go to some random fret and just play number 7, it's going to turn out I'm in that key. In this case, that's D. And if I start on this, sure enough, I'm playing in that key. So maybe make a note on your page that we're at like 5:30 right now in the recording. So now I'm going to start, doing them all at 1 fret. This is the main thing you're doing this time after you memorize them, is this play and point exercise. So turn to the page where it says play and point, please. Cool. So we're going to hang out at 1 fret, and I'll just do down here where note names are easy. We're going to play all 7 fingerings, one at a time, and after each one, we're just going to point and say, I'm playing in that key, and sure enough, you will be. So I'm playing number 1 first, and oh, well, this is the fret I learned that one at. No big deal. If I played it at some other fret, I'd be in that key, anyway. But so number 1, I'm in C. If you want, you can do this. Then you're going to play number 2, not up here, but still at the same fret, just thinking about the hand movement. And then that's where the root is. So you're going, I'm playing number 2, I'm in A sharp or B flat, and you can go. And sure enough, I was just starting on the root, and just like worked in C, works in B flat here, A sharp. Cool. So we just did 1, I'm in C, 2, I'm in B flat. Now we get to 3, which was root chilling right there. Yeah, so now I'm playing number 3, just thinking about the hand movement. Point in the same spot, that's A. Sure enough, if I start on that note and play the same pattern, it's the major scale. And I just happen to hit the right notes, which are, in an A major scale. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. It's got 2 sharps, but the point is we don't have to think about all that circular fifth stuff to be able to play everything everywhere. So yeah, there we go. 4, 5 is the one that just starts on it. So at any rate, I just went 3. 4 is the one that's just the second note you hit. It is the root where it's like 2 of these, then 2 of these. Boom, I'm in G. This is one people use a lot because it's just under our fingers. It's the one most people learn from the major scale first. And if I did it here, I'd be in A. And if I did it here, I'd be in B. And if I move up 1 fret, I'm back to where we learned it. See, so that's just the whole concept. Anyway, so we just went 1, I'm in C, 2, I'm in B, 3, I'm in A, I'm 4, I'm in G. Reminder, I'm playing in rhythm and fast because I can. You're just like pointing at dots, pausing if you need to, no big deal. So then we're doing number 6, which is the weirdo because we don't hit the root until there, but it's E anyway. And we're going to kind of skip focusing too much on 6 right now until we talk about it next lesson. But number 7 was the one you learned up here where the root's there, so I'm going to play number 7 just thinking about it. And boom, I'm in D, and sure enough. And then, we run out of notes, but I am playing the D major scale. So it looks like this happened at exactly 9 minutes. So first you do them 1 through 7 every time. Going 1, C, 2, B flat, 3, A, 4, and so on. Then you need to do them out of order, just to make sure each one gets into your head as, just on its own, number 1, number 2, without having to think about number 1 first. So you're just going to be like 2. And then you can do anything but 3 next. 4, 7. So that's, anyway. So at first you'll lean on thinking about 1 through 7 to make it easy. And then we have to do the same thing we did with learning the fingerings, which is just to do them out of order, so that we just really know number 3 is this and point here, number 4 is this and point here, not be able to work it out by thinking about 1 and 2 or whatever. Alright, so that's what's up. You play, you point, that's what scale you're playing, and you need to know the note names for that to make sense, and you need to know the fingerings for what we're doing right now to make sense. Alright, bro. See you soon.